of prisms and cylinders. So you notice your first picture has 3 different prisms. Prisms are named by the shape of their base. So I have a rectangular prism. I have another rectangular prism, only this one happens to be oblique. And then I have a triangular prism. All of these prisms have the same base area. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2, the height is 6. 1/2 of 6 times 2 is also 6.
Mama.
So Cavalieri's principle says if 2 space figures have the same height and the same cross-sectional area, then they have the same volume. So we're going to find the volume of a prism that has a base that's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So because it's a 45, 45, 90, I know that it's isosceles, and it has a leg of 8. So both of these have the base leg is 8. So if I were to find the area of the base, 1/2 times 8 squared is 32. And it has a height of 6.5. So the volume of the prism is the area of the base times the height, which equals 32 times 6.5. So 32 times 6.5 equals 208. And my units are inches cubed. All right, a composite space figure is just a figure it's a 3-dimensional figure that has 2 or more shapes or figures combined together. So you'll notice that you have a triangular prism. It has a base of 14 and a height of 12. You have a cube, and I know that because it's 12 by 12 by 12, the depth. And then you have a cylinder, but it's just half of a cylinder, so its radius is going to be 6. So we need to find the volume of a cylinder plus the volume of a cube plus the volume of the triangular prism. Well, the volume of a cylinder is the area of the base, which is pi r squared, times the height. And because we only have half of a cylinder, we're going to divide that by 2. The volume of the cube is the area of the base, which is length times width multiplied by the height. The volume of the triangular prism, area of the base, 1/2 times 14 times 12 multiplied by the height of the prism, which is 12. All right, so I'm going to plug in some numbers. So pi times my radius, which is 6 squared, times my height, which is 12, all over 2, plus 12 times 12 times 12, which is 12 cubed, plus half of 14 is 7, and 12 times 12 is 144. And I'm going to plug all of this into a calculator. So 36 times 12 times pi divided by 2 is 678.58 plus 12 cubed, 1,728 plus 7 times 144, 1,008, for a grand total of 3,414, about 3,414.6 if I were to round it to the nearest tenth, centimeters cubed. All right. So today's lesson is on the volume. So every single time area of the base times the height. So let's look at our next shape. The volume equals area of the base times the height. We're trying to find the height of this shape. So I know the volume, which is 125, equals the area of the base, 1/2 times 8 times 5 multiplied by h. Well, half of 8 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So 125 equals 20h. I'm going to take 125 and divide it by 20, and I find out that the height is actually 6.25 centimeters. All right, our last example. A scientist suggests keeping indoor air relatively clean as follows. So you have to provide 2 or 3 pots of flowers for every 100 square feet of floor space. Under 8 feet. So this computer lab has an 8-foot ceiling, and the floor space measures 55 feet by 30 feet. So we just need to figure out the area of the base. 55 times 30, which is 1,650. And we need to divide that by 100. First of all, that will tell us how many 100 square feet of space we have. So we have approximately 16.5 100-foot sections of space. So we need 2 or 3 pots for every 100-foot section of space. So we need to have no less than 33 pots. And 16.5 times 3 is 49.5, which can't have half of a plant, so 50. So the number of plants, if we were to represent number of plants with the letter P, I could write it as 33 is less than or equal to P is less than or equal to 50. There you go. So your homework, I believe you have 12 questions. Once you complete your homework, you have a Google form that's going to ask you 2 or 3 questions about your homework. The Google form will submit itself automatically. So once you complete the form, it'll submit. But I need you to take a picture of your homework, and that is what you are going to put into the homework submission portion of your module. So take a picture of your homework and embed that or import that into your module homework submission. That's it.